Today we're chatting with the bicycling guitarist, TBG, as part of our Rocks Revolutionaries video series. Good afternoon and welcome.
Well, hello. Glad to be here.
If you could, tell us a little bit about your background, where you moved from, and why you chose this community.
Well, I was born at Travis Air Force Base in Northern California and lived there for my first 35 years. Then I moved to Sonoma County, wine country, for another 10 years, and I came up here to be closer to family. And I don't regret it, even though there's fewer days out of the year when I can ride outdoors and play guitar. It's just like the people here are so nice, and I've never been as welcome at what I do in any other town I've lived in.
And you moved here, and what year did you move?
2006.
Very nice. Okay, so you're obviously very creative, and you've kind of immersed yourself in this community. You've been recognized in different medias. What would you like to see happen from a creative perspective in our community?
Well, what I already see happening, there's a lot of involvement from people in local events and free expression of, and I consider like growing vegetables or whatever to be as much a form of art as music or anything else. You know, I mean, the farmers market, rural rocks, all these great expressions of community involvement, you know, and participation. And I was at that event last night, I guess they call it Walla, or something like it's backwards. And there were a lot of people out.
Okay.
And everybody was, even the dogs were dressed up. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun event. There is. In the downtown Roseburg, do you ride much in downtown?
Well, not normally during the day because, you know, I don't want to, you know, unless I have to go to a store or something. You know, I try to go on roads that have bike paths, or I take bike trails if possible. That's one thing I would like is any future events for any planning or growth or expansion or new developments or something include the use of bicycles, make it easier and safer to use, you know, for the health of people and the health of the planet, you know.
And in a previous conversation, we talked about how you feel you've influenced and made people happy.
Well, it's not exactly what I said. That what I'm doing is I told you what people have told me.
Okay.
They tell me.
Yes.
You know, it's not like my opinion, like I think I'm doing this, because frankly, I was oblivious. I was not oblivious. I'm actually sitting straight up when I'm riding, playing guitar. I'm not bent over like this, so actually I can turn my head easier to look around. And I never go very fast. I'm in first gear all the time. And my mind is on the music. It's a piece that I found for my life that I never had before. And my body, which is normally hurting from sensory issues, like everything is too much all the time for me. But when I'm on the bicycle playing guitar at the same time, it's like it goes on autopilot. And for a while, I get some temporary relief for distraction, and my mind's on the music, and it's a piece for me. And you know, the meditation in motion, it works. But
So are you composing songs while you write?
the music just flows through me, and I have written hundreds of original songs and come up with new ones at the drop of a hat. But none of them have ever been professionally recorded yet. That is something of my personal goals I would like to have sometime. I want, you know, some of my best stuff recorded while I can still do it. Or so far, I'm still getting better. So maybe, you know, hold off a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I don't know of many people that are doing what you're doing. So, and you touched briefly on your personal goals. So, as a musician, do you have any personal goals that you'd like to see happen inside this community?
Well, I am very grateful that that the community seems, for the most part, to like what I do. Like I said, people have told me, you know, hey, we like what you do. You know, so I appreciate that, and I thank everybody who's told me that, because it does make me feel better. And sometimes, even if I'm hurting, if I know that there's a chance I could bring a smile to someone's face, hey, you know, it's better than just hurting and not doing that. You know, because if I'm going to hurt anyway, I might as well try to make people laugh at the same time. So, my personal goal is, like I say, if I could, to be filmed, especially not just have one of my songs recorded or some of my better songs, like an album's worth. I've even got the title, When You Ride Over Sharps, You Get Flats. And I came up with that remark a few years ago here in town, and I like it so much. It's like, I'd say it'd be the title of my autobiography, but maybe I should say bicycle biography instead. I don't know.
Yes.
And my bicycle has a history, you know. It's a very classic Schwinn. It's maintained with authentic Schwinn parts, sometimes upgraded for more expensive models. It actually started life as the cheapest 10-speed in the whole Schwinn line, cheaper even than the Varsity. But it actually had better derailleurs than the higher-end models, because at that time the Japanese Suntour were not respected, but they're very good. They were very good derailleurs. But I call it the minstrel cycle because someone said I'm the traveling minstrel, so obviously, you know. And now it will have a good home. It's going to the Bicycle Museum of America after I die. They have dibs on it.
Thanks. And do you have a name for your guitar as well?
Anniversary Annie. It's Annie.
Huh.
I grew up mainly listening to classic rock from the late 60s to the late 70s, and most of my original songs would be mostly described sounding like classic rock from the late 60s to late 70s. But there's also some punk and folk and reggae influences, and I kind of blend it. And you know, I'm not as good a singer as I'm a guitar player, but I'm not the bicycling singer, you know, but I do try. And I sing better now than I did a year ago. Anything that's online now, I sing better live than what's online from a year ago. A lot better, but you know, I haven't been filmed since then. So.